Jakarta. Bukan rahasia lagi bahwa beberapa warga Indonesia lebih memilih untuk berobat ke luar negeri, seperti misalnya ke negara-negara tetangga Singapura. Ada berbagai macam alasan dibaliknya, mulai dari teknologi hingga sekalian wisata. Di salah satu rumah sakit di Singapura, Mount Elizabeth Hospital, disebutkan selama 2018 lalu tercatat ada lebih dari 10.000 pasien asal Indonesia. Setidaknya ada ribuan pasien datang berobat setiap bulannya. CEO Mount Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. Nolio, menyebut sepertiga dari pasien asal Indonesia berobat atas keluhan terkait kanker. Penyakit paling sering ditangani di rumah sakit ini adalah kanker.
Mount Elizabeth telah melayani Asia Pasifik selama lebih dari 40 tahun sebagai pusat medis dan mendapatkan kepercayaan dari pasien di seluruh wilayah dengan strategic pairing, yaitu kemajuan medis dengan teknologi terkini. Rumah sakit swasta dengan 345 tempat tidur ini mendapatkan akreditas perawatan berkualitas dari Joint Commission International dan sertifikasi penghargaan emas Singapore Quality Class. Pada tahun 2014, Rumah Sakit Mount Elizabeth menjadi satu-satunya yang memakai robot makuplasti untuk melakukan pembedahan lutut parsial.
Berikut merupakan video contoh fasilitas yang disediakan Mount Elizabeth Hospital Singapura yang kami ambil dari akun salah satu pasien yang pernah menjadi pasien rawat inap di rumah sakit tersebut. Tak hanya fasilitas yang lengkap, mereka juga memberikan kenyamanan pada tiap pasien agar lekas sembuh.
About 2/3 of healthcare spending is private, and only about 1/3 is public. That's even more private spending than in the United States. Singapore is also a mix of private and public healthcare delivery systems. There are private and public hospitals. And after that, there are lots of tiers of healthcare. If you want to get specific, there are 5 classes. A, B1, B2+, B2, and C. A gets you a private room, your own bathroom, air conditioning, and your choice of doctor. C gets you an open ward with 7 to 8 other patients, a shared bathroom, and whatever doctor is assigned to you. If you choose A, you pay for everything. If you choose C, the government pays up to 80% of the costs. What makes Singapore unique and what makes it beloved among many conservative wonks is its reliance on health savings accounts. All workers are mandated to put a decent percent of their earnings into savings for the future. In 2012, workers up to age 50 had to put 20% of their wages into these accounts, matched by another 16% of wages from their employer. Monies are divided amongst 3 types of accounts. There's the ordinary account, to be used to buy a home, pay for insurance against death and disability, or to pay for investment or education. There's the special account, for old age and investment and retirement-related financial products, and then there's the MediSave account, to be used for healthcare expenses and approved medical insurance. The contribution to MediSave is about 7 to 9.5% of wages, depending upon your age. It earns interest set by the government, and it has a maximum cap at around $43,500, at which point you divert your mandatory savings into some other account. You can use your MediSave account to pay for inpatient care and some outpatient care. There are some gaps in what you're allowed to pay for with it, but those are getting smaller. The Parenthood package, where you get $6,000 cash for each of your first and second children, and $8,000 for your third and fourth children. The government will also match dollar for dollar a fairly large amount that you contribute to a child development account. Every once in a while, the government tops up the MediSave accounts if it thinks costs have gone up faster than expected, or if it wants to expand coverage. 2011, for instance, lower and middle income people aged 45 and above got $200 to $700 each, depending upon income and home ownership. The second healthcare program is MediShield. This is a catastrophic illness program. And while it's not mandatory, more than 90% of the population is covered. It's really cheap, from $33 a year for a 29-year-old to $372 a year for a 69-year-old.
Selanjutnya merupakan perbedaan yang terdapat pada negara berkembang Brazil di bidang kesehatan.
I was directed here and I need to get in, so he finally let me in after talking. The hospital registration part took a bit long, about 20 minutes, but only after a nurse said I could be admitted. So she saw my swollen ankle and decided to let me in. From that point, I waited another 15 minutes and was seen by a doctor. While the hospital was busy with patients lying in beds in the corridor, there was no panic. And the patient next to me also agreed that even though it's busy, the service seemed to be good, and that as long as you weren't rude, you'd be seen by a doctor in a short amount of time. So the doctor I spoke with, he prescribed me anti-inflammatory medicine and directed me to the toxicology department. From there, I was impressed because the doctor in toxicology spoke decent English. She inspected my leg and said it was not a venomous sting, but if the swelling doesn't go down, I should return in 5 days. From here, the most difficult part was actually finding an exit back to the reception. It was a big hospital and I had a hard time finding my way around. I was given some papers and I was able to check out. Now guess what? How much did I pay for this visit, do you think? Zero. That's right, 0 highs. It was free. And I was so happy because even though I had some international insurance, I was even more happy that I didn't need serious treatment. But I'm also glad that there is good service there. And that's that. Hospital care is somewhat better than in the United States because it was free public care and every person has the right to be treated.
On primary care, it often battles for resources with Brazil's hospitals. And the result? The hospitals often come up short. A recent study by the World Bank called most of Brazil's hospitals substandard and said that many deliver inefficient, poor quality care.
The hospitals are a very serious problem.
Are there long waits for complex procedures?
Absolutely, yeah. Very long waits and sometimes very bad.
Is a critical factor. The strain is believed to be different enough from the original virus that reinfections are occurring, and it seems to be more contagious. The rapid spread in Brazil puts everyone at risk. The more people are infected, the greater the chance the virus will mutate, possibly into something more transmissible or into something current vaccines can't protect against. Vaccinations are underway in Brazil, but supplies are limited and the rollout poorly planned. Last week, a line stretched 7 kilometers from a vaccination site in Rio de Janeiro. People were irate that loved ones over 60 were forced to stand in line for hours. Crystal Gamansing, Global News.
Berikut merupakan kesimpulan dari video-video yang telah kami tayangkan. Yang pertama yaitu tunjangan kesehatan di negara maju Singapura banyak sekali dibantu oleh pemerintah. Yang kedua, banyak fasilitas rumah sakit yang sudah maju di Singapura menggunakan teknologi dibanding tenaga manusia karena tidak memakan waktu, tenaga, dan pengeluaran tambahan. Di negara Singapura juga banyak sekali tenaga medis yang ahli dan tersebar rata di berbagai rumah sakit di Singapura. Maka dari itu tingkat kesehatan di negara maju Singapura tergolong baik. Banyak masyarakat di negara maju lain dan Singapura yang sudah sadar akan kesehatan dirinya sendiri, baik mental maupun fisik. Karena sumber penyakit bukan hanya lewat fisik saja, tetapi lewat mental pun harus terjaga dengan baik. Selanjutnya adalah perbandingan dari negara berkembang Brazil dalam bidang kesehatan yaitu sebagai berikut. Di negara Brazil, banyak tunjangan kesehatan yang ditanggung oleh sendiri. Apalagi di rumah sakit Brazil yang masih terus berkembang. Fasilitas-fasilitas di rumah sakit negara Brazil juga belum terlalu memadai. Karena itu, fasilitas rumah sakit di Brazil tidak terlalu maju karena masih banyak menggunakan tenaga manusia yang oleh sebab itu banyak rumah sakit tutup pada hari raya atau libur. Seperti video perbandingan yang sebelumnya kami cantumkan. Tenaga medis ahli di rumah sakit Brazil pun tidak menyebar secara rata. Kebanyakan dokter yang sudah bergelar profesor di rumah sakit Brazil hanya ada di rumah sakit swasta atau negeri yang terkenal saja. Dan yang terakhir, banyak masyarakat di Brazil belum terlalu sadar akan kesehatan diri mereka sendiri, baik fisik maupun mental mereka. Maka dari itu, negara Singapura secara teknologi medis lebih maju daripada negara Brazil. Oleh karenanya, fasilitas medis lebih maju dan lebih bagus yang menyebabkan tingkat kesehatan Singapura lebih bagus daripada negara Brazil. Meskipun negara Brazil juga tidak jauh beda dengan negara kita yaitu Indonesia yang sama-sama negara berkembang.